Yo, what's going on? Mike from Mike Talk Sports. Kelly Oubre Jr. just absolutely balled out and showed out against his former team in the Phoenix Suns as the 76ers improved to 4-1 this season after impressively beating the Suns. So in today's episode of Mike Talk Sports, I'm going to be breaking down Kelly Oubre, overall his impact on the 76ers this season, and why he was such a steal this offseason. In an NBA universe where Dillon Brooks got a 4-year, $86 million contract this offseason, the fact that Kelly Oubre Jr., after averaging 20 points per game on the Charlotte Hornets last season, only got a $2 million deal for 1 year, it's honestly absolutely criminal, especially considering he was making about $15 million last season. Now, there's two main reasons why Kelly Oubre has gotten a bad reputation at this point in his NBA career, but let me tell you guys why this is pretty unfair. First and foremost, it's some of the inconsistencies he's had in his game throughout his entire career. And secondly, it's kind of this pretty boy mantra that he's gotten throughout his career. So let me tackle the second one first. This pretty boy mantra, I get it based on his appearance and some things he does say to the media sometimes. But guys, watch Kelly Oubre play. He really does have that grit and grind style about him, that Philadelphia culture about him. Just watch him play this tenacious defense. Watch him attack the basket offensively. Watch him attack rebounds on the offensive end of the ball, and you'll get why Kelly Oubre is more of a grit and grind player and not some pretty boy. Now, let's tackle some of the inconsistencies, and there's definitely some more truth in this one, but let me tell you guys why it's so overstated with Kelly Oubre Jr. So he came into the NBA at 20 years old as the 15th pick in the NBA draft, and he was of course very raw coming into the NBA, but he was still very consistent on the defensive end. So Kelly Oubre, despite having this mantra of being inconsistent, he really has always been consistent defensively. Now in 2019 to 2020 on the Phoenix Suns, dropping 18.7 points per game on 45% from the field, he really was a breakout candidate. Not only this, but he shot 35% from three, which is still below league average, but it was greatly improved upon this season compared to his other seasons in his NBA career. To me, where he really got a negative mantra was that Golden State Warrior 2020 tank season. So in this season, guys like him and Jordan Poole were just basically given the green light to do whatever they wanted out there, and this resulted in both of them having very inefficient seasons. As that season, Kelly Oubre put up 15 points per game, but on 43% from the field, and it really was his three-point percentage. He averaged 31% from three that year, and he had a lot of games 0 for 6, 0 for 7, 0 for 8 from three, and he really did become a meme from that Golden State Warrior tank season. Then last year, he had his highest point per game season of his entire career, as I alluded to earlier, putting up 20 points per game on 43% from the field, but again, 32% from three, and he is a career 33% three shooter on about 5 attempts per game, which is a significant amount of attempts, especially for a guy that is not a great three-point shooter. So in the aspect of three-point shooting, he's absolutely inconsistent, but throughout his entire career, from the two-point arc, on the defensive side, attacking the basket, rebounding, stealing, he is very consistent. His inconsistencies really come from the three-point arc. And this is 100% played out this season as well. In only 5 games, he's had 2 games shooting really bad from three, and he's had 3 games looking absolutely incredible from three. It really is the duality of Kelly Oubre Jr. He's had an 0 for 6 game from three, an 0 for 4 game from three, and those were back-to-back games. So already this season, he had an 0 for 10 stretch from three, but he's also had multiple 5 for 6 from 3 games. Make no mistake about it, Kelly Oubre Jr. is genuinely a consistent three-point shot away from being a borderline all-star caliber player. He really does have that knack for scoring, the defensive tenacity, and overall IQ on the court in order to be a very high-level player. It really is about the three-pointer and the lack thereof in terms of his consistency. Now, where you do want to knock some of that basketball IQ is definitely on the three-point arc. If he just shot significantly less attempts per game, not only would his efficiency absolutely skyrocket, but so would his overall value as a player. So if Kelly Oubre Jr. could dial it back a little bit with the three-point attempts, he really is the perfect player for the 76ers this season. But let's say Kelly Oubre is what he is at this point. Kelly Oubre Jr. is still an absolute steal for the 76ers. I've already touched upon his defense, but from an offensive perspective, he's consistently left open from three. And again, he can hit those open three shots. And now that they don't have PJ Tucker there, it's going to be Kelly Oubre Jr. running that baseline on a consistent basis, and he is very good around the rim. His dunk and layup package is very good, and he is very good at cutting off the ball. Tobias Harris also got interviewed after that Raptors game, and what he said he liked most about Kelly Oubre Jr.'s game is how active he is off the ball on offense. He really is not stagnant, and that is a vast difference between him and James Harden. Obviously, James Harden is a better offensive player than Kelly Oubre Jr., but one advantage over him that Kelly Oubre does bring to the table is that off-ball movement, and it's the fact that the 76ers offense will never be stagnant with Kelly Oubre Jr. in there. Overall, Kelly Oubre Jr. is looking like one of the best free agent signings in the entire NBA already 5 games into the season. Only gaining $2 million per year is such a steal for the 76ers. And in my opinion, Kelly Oubre Jr. is going to be a great addition for the 76ers all season long, being one of the best scorers coming off the bench in the entire NBA and giving them great defense. Thanks for watching today's episode of Mike Talk Sports. Let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on Kelly Oubre Jr.? And do you agree with my take that Kelly Oubre Jr. is actually pretty damn consistent? The only thing that's inconsistent about his game is obviously that three-point shooting. Again, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, smack that like and hit subscribe.